Morning everybody. Tuesday the 13th of May. Getting quite an early one in today because I've got to get Angie up before 9, so we're going to see one of the specialists today. So we've got a bit of leave here about 10:30. So I'll get her up. I've just chopped all the fruit up ready for her breakfast. And get out and see what the specialist has to say again. One of the good things that I'll mention is when some people suffer with what's called dyskinesia. When I say some people, I mean Parkinson's sufferers, and that's where you get involuntary body movements, and your body's like that. If you take a look at Michael J. Fox, the actor that was in Back to the Future, he suffers terribly with it. He's had it since his 20s, but he's a massive ambassador to promote it and raise money and raise awareness. But if you take a look at him and see how he's constantly moving, his shoulders are going, his arms are going, his neck's going, his head's going. Now that can be a symptom. Luckily Angie's not got that, but she was developing it. And when I mentioned this to the specialist last but one time, he reduced the medication she was on, the levodopa. He said because if you have too much, again this way it becomes a minefield. If you have not too much, but the more you have of this can bring that on. So once he'd reduced it, she doesn't have any of that at all now. It's nothing to do with the tremor. A tremor is a different thing than dyskinesia. Don't know why they call them these big daft names. Just call them something simple, working man's tongue. But dyskinesia, it's called. So that's one thing that's we're pretty pleased about, because she won't even be able to hold the cup if she's constantly moving and shaking like that. When she first got diagnosed years ago, about 4 years ago, we used to go to a Parkinson's exercise class, and Angie was sort of the newest diagnosed, and that's when she had a little bit of fight left in her to put up against it. And there was a woman there then that was really bad. She couldn't even, she couldn't sit in the chair, her arms were going, everything, and she couldn't speak. And that was one of the things that stopped Angie going. Well, not just her, but a couple of the other people, because she said, I don't want to look and see how I'm going to end up, even though everybody, the specialists, the nurses and people said, well, you might not, because there's loads and loads of symptoms out there, and not everybody gets them all. Some get some don't. You get others, and so not everybody gets this dyskinesia, which touch wood, Angie's not got. She was only getting it because of the too much dopamine, levodopa, that was in the tablets. So yeah, and there was another fella there when we first go in, and he used to just freeze to the spot. You call it feet freezing. Now, while Angie was walking, Angie suffered with that a lot. She'd just be, walking. When you say walking, it's more of a shuffle, but all of a sudden just stop, as though the feet are just glued to the ground. It's weird to watch. It's weird for no reason whatsoever. And when they come through doorways, they used to just stop and can't, and hesitant, and the legs are like lead and stuck to the floor. Now, obviously, she doesn't suffer with that anymore because she doesn't get up and walk. The only walking she'll do is if I hold her by the shoulders and rock her from side to side and make her lift her foot. Even now she's lifting her left foot slightly, but dragging her right foot now behind her. So I don't know what that's how long, but it's hard work, for me, rocking her from side to side, and then you've got to turn around. So maybe maybe the wheelchair all the time might be coming sooner than I thought. Even though I do tend to push her around the house if possible, but I do try to get her exercising with this walking business. Anyway, right, so please excuse me if I tend to repeat myself at times. Like I'll say I'm getting her up and we're going to, and she hasn't been to bed, but it's just me offloading. All I'm doing is I'm just talking out loud. Whatever's in my head, I'm just talking out loud, and hopefully you can get some sort of understanding of what it's like, not just caring for someone with Parkinson's, but maybe having Parkinson's. you know, and looking at it from their point of view as well. So yeah, we'll go out and see the specialist today, and then dinner time 11 o'clock, and then we'll stay out. We'll go and get something to eat, and then get back this afternoon at some point and probably sit in the garden, have a lounging afternoon in the garden, get us out in under shade and get us out and get some vitamin D. And yeah, so have a good day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Please like and share. Thank you. Bye now.